Hey guys, Matt with CJ Off-Road here. Now today on the table in front of me, I've got JBA's brand new stainless steel off-road exhaust fitting your 2020 and newer Jeep Gladiator equipped with a 3.6 liter engine. Now we've really been excited to get this in here and get it installed on our Gladiator to see how it sounds, because it features a lot of awesome features on it, and plus it comes in at a really reasonable price point. Now, this whole exhaust is constructed out of 304 stainless steel and is a nice 2.5-inch diameter. The tip, however, is a 3-inch, which gives you that more aggressive look that comes on the stock Gladiator Rubicon exhaust. It gives you a nice black tip to really finish it off. Now included on the table is everything that you need to get it installed, including your nice single-stage muffler here, as well as everything else in that nice stainless steel, meaning that if you are in Pennsylvania or somewhere else that has that rust in the rust belt, you're not going to have to worry about this exhaust falling apart on you. Now we're going to go ahead and get this installed on our 2020 Jeep Gladiator, fire it up and see how it sounds, so make sure you stay tuned. Okay guys, so we already have an aftermarket exhaust on our Gladiator. We're going to go ahead and remove that and show you a short clip now on how to remove your factory exhaust so you can go ahead and get started installing this JBA exhaust. So let me go ahead and remove that. We'll show you a short clip and then we can get to installing this brand new exhaust. I'm really excited to see how this one turns out. The first bolt that we have to remove is this front one that comes off of the front section of the pipe and holds on to the rear mid pipe section. That's going to be a 13mm socket up top. I'm going to use a power ratchet to make it a little bit quicker. All you have to do is loosen this up and then it'll pop off the tab when we go to remove the exhaust, but that'll be later. Then there's going to be two 13mm bolts that hold on the bracket onto the mid pipe here. I'm going to pull it off, that way we don't have to struggle pulling the exhaust hanger out of the post and all that through there, so just remove the bracket in itself. Okay, now what we'll do is remove the last two bolts that hold on the muffler section of the exhaust. You don't need to do the center section, just the rear and the front. And now we can pull the exhaust off. Okay guys, so the next step in this process would be to drop the spare tire, the tire shield, and then lower the bolt on the track bar in order to get this exhaust off and keep it in one piece. In our case, we're not going to be going back to stock anytime at all, so we're just going to go ahead and sawzall it right off to make it easier for us. But if you guys do want to keep this in case you ever want to go back to stock, make sure to drop the rear tire, drop the heat shield on that tire, and then just lower the lower bolt of the track bar, pull that off, and then it should slide all through for you, but we're just going to hack it up and get rid of it. Okay guys, now that we have the factory stock exhaust removed, we're gonna go ahead and put together this assembled unit here. And I will talk about what each piece is once I get it up here, but this is gonna be the easiest way for you to do it at home. Oh my God. All right guys, so here's what I wanna talk about. Basically what I did is sat on the table and put these three first pieces together. The first piece up front has a flange on the end that's gonna go up there onto the factory exhaust, and it'll be the only one that is flanged like that. As soon as you pull off your factory one, you'll know which one it is, and it's about 18 inches long. Now when you're putting the muffler on, make sure that the center input is towards the front of the vehicle, and the offset output is going to be towards the inside of the Jeep, so towards the middle of the Jeep once you put it on. Now after that, there's going to be your third extension piece, which will slide right into the factory hanger here, and you'll have to give it a little bit of a push using some WD-40, but it will pop through. The reason we did all this at once is because now this can hang here pretty much freely, and we wanted to see exactly where everything needs to move and twist around before tightening any of it up. So we're gonna go ahead and now just snug down some of these band clamps, and then we'll move on to the rear. So as you can see, we've got the stock clamp up here, and we're gonna go ahead and get that snugged up using a 13mm socket. And we're not getting anything crazy tight yet. We're just snugging everything up, so that way we can work through to the back and see where everything needs to sit. The next one we're gonna get snugged up is going to be the band clamp onto the muffler. Once again, just snugged up. We'll go down and do a final tightening once we're all done. The next one here is going to be the 2.5-inch clamp after the muffler. Make sure you put all these on before you put the exhaust on. You can still get them on if you fight with it, but it just saves you a lot of time if you do it before. And that one's just snugged up, and then we can move on towards the rear pieces. So the next part we're going to be focusing on is going to be the hanger right up here above the cross member. That's going to be right next to your coil springs. Ours look a little different because we have a 6-inch lift, but it'll be right next to your coil springs here. And you're going to go ahead and take the piece with your hanger rod towards the front of the vehicle, and that's going to slip into that extension pipe you put on past your muffler. And you want to make sure that you get that in the hole there as well as down below in the exhaust. And then you're just going to go ahead and push it all together. It is a little bit tight, so I'd recommend using some WD-40 up there, but we're gonna go ahead and push that in, and then we can get that clamp tightened up and start moving farther towards the back. We're honestly almost done, and it's been about 15 minutes, so I'm really impressed at how quick this kit is going. All right guys, so included with this kit, there's actually 2 different types of exhaust that you can use at the rear. This one here, the longer one, is going to allow you to attach that 3-inch black tip, and then this one here will actually just hug the frame rail and dump it right there. So that'll be up nice and tight and just dump right past the rear fender. And then if you go ahead and put this one on, that'll actually give you the provisions to mount that 3-inch tip to go all the way out the back. For us, we're gonna use this one with the 3-inch tip. However, I really like this one here. I think that's gonna be super clean, and if you are wheeling, it'll just pop it right out there underneath your rear fender. So nice and high tuck, but you do have 2 options. So just decide, and then you can go ahead and put it on. So now we're gonna go ahead and set this piece on. We've already got this clamp attached to it, and we just did that off camera, but you can go ahead and pull yours off and get it attached like so. And then all you need to do is get it hung up into place where it sits. Okay guys, and then go ahead and put your tailpipe section on. Make sure you put a band clamp on there as well. We actually took the rear hanger off here using 2 13mm sockets and slid it on here ahead of time. That way we could push it up into place. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. We'll go ahead and get both of these bolts in. And then we can get them snug down. Then once you have that bracket tightened up with the hanger, we can go ahead and slide our last 3-inch band clamp into place. And we can go ahead and put our black tip on there. And you can see how you want to face that. We're just going to face it straight down. Go ahead and put your clamp on. We'll get that tightened up, and then we're going to go all the way up through using a 15mm socket to get all these other clamps nice and tight, and then we'll show you guys how it sounds. Well guys, after about an hour and only using 2 tools, we got this entire exhaust installed on our 2020 Jeep Gladiator. I gotta say guys that overall, putting on a lot of aftermarket exhaust, this one went really smoothly. And honestly, it is extremely stout up there. I have no issues that this is gonna stay nice and secured and looking good for a very long time. Now helping with that is that 304 stainless steel, as well as everything else included with it that is in that stainless steel material. It's not gonna rust away like many other cheaper exhausts. I really like the black tip here. You can barely see it on the outside of the Jeep, and it really matches the profile of that rear bumper very nicely. I don't really think we're gonna have many issues hitting that when we're out on the trail. It follows the frame rail very, very nicely. Overall guys, if you're looking for a great budget-friendly exhaust that's gonna look good and last a long time, I highly recommend this JBA stainless steel off-road exhaust for your 2020 and newer Jeep Gladiator. Now until next time guys, I wanna show you guys how this sounds, so we're gonna go ahead and put the mic on the back, give it a couple revs so you can make your final opinion on it. But until next time guys, I hope you guys are staying safe and staying at home, and I'll see you out on the trails. Mm-hmm.